Welcome to this latest Ask Christians in Sport. The series where you, the listener, involved in competitive elite sport, can get in touch with a question around what it means to be involved in sport, what it means to connect your sport and faith. Any question, you can get in touch with us and send in your questions.
Today's question is this. I'm a final year university student. I've absolutely loved playing university sport over the last 3 years, and I've had really encouraging conversations with the girls on my netball team. But now final exams are on the horizon and our season is just about finished. It's hard to share Jesus as easily. So how can I finish well before I graduate from university? It's a really brilliant question, and it's great to be thinking about how you might share Jesus with your friends in the strange time that is the last month of uni, when people are getting their heads down ahead of final year projects, dissertations and exams. And so how does reaching the world of sport for Christ fit into the last month of university life? Well, here's 2 key principles for you to bear in mind. Firstly, circumstances change, but sports people's need for Jesus doesn't. It may be much harder to share life and the gospel at this stage of your university year. You may not have the same regular cycle of training sessions, of matches and socials, so it might be much more of a challenge to naturally spend time with people in your sports club or team. You might also be swamped with revision that you've barely got time to sleep, let alone have time for evangelism. But here's the thing. Though your life and the lives of your sports mates may look different right now, the need for them to hear about and respond to Jesus hasn't changed. In Matthew chapter 9 verse 36, Jesus looks upon the crowd and he had compassion on them because they're harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. That is still their situation. And it's still the case that, as Jesus says 2 verses later, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. We are still called to be workers in the harvest field of sport, even though it may seem more difficult in this time. Secondly, you've got nothing to lose. You may have been told that uni is an incredibly unique time in terms of gospel opportunities. Busy though things may feel, you're unlikely to ever have this much time to spend with people again. Also, during their time at university, people tend to be more open-minded than ever before, and when they leave, they may settle into the routine of life and stop thinking about bigger things. Therefore, make the most of the time you have left. Often one of the reasons why we find it so hard to tell our sports friends about Jesus is the fear of what they'll think of us. Here's the thing. If you're about to graduate, then you may never actually see some of these people again, and if you do, it probably won't be in the same capacity. In Acts, when Paul is saying goodbye to the Ephesian elders, and knowing he'll never see them again, he's able to say this to them. Therefore, I declare to you today that I am innocent of the blood of any of you, for I have not hesitated to proclaim to you the whole will of God. That's what Paul says in Acts 20. And imagine being able to say that yourself. Imagine being able to leave uni confident that you've shared the gospel with your sports mates, that they've heard it, and now know that it's up to them to make the decision. So, your friends need to hear about Jesus, and you have nothing to lose. So how can you put this into practice in your last month of uni? Here are 4 things you can do. And number 1, pray. Keep praying for your sports mates and keep meeting with other Christian sports people to encourage them in this too. Secondly, continue to share life. People are busy, but everyone makes time for a meal and a coffee. So why not catch up with someone this week or this term over a meal or a coffee? Why not keep in touch to hear how their exams are going, showing that you care about them as a person, not just as a teammate? And also be productive in your own work time to free up time and space to spend with people. Thirdly, boldly proclaim before you go. A few years back, a student rugby player stood in the changing room after a sevens tournament and told them there was something he had to tell them before he left uni. He shared his faith with them. It led to conversations in weeks and years to come. So how could you boldly share the good news of Jesus with your sports mates before you leave? And finally, plan a revision break or a post-exam event. Why not put on an event which gives people a breather from the revision and gets them thinking about something else? Or at many universities, there's a time after exams when everyone's still hanging around with lots of free time. What a great time to put on something like an outdoor volleyball tournament with a barbecue, a spike ball tournament with a halftime talk. So why not get together with your university Christian and sport group to organise this? If you don't have a group at your uni, then get in touch with us if you'd like us to help you think this through more. So go for it. Enjoy your last few weeks at uni. It's a precious, precious time, even as you study and prepare for what's next. And pray that God would guide you in all you do.
Remember, you can email askcis@christiansinsport.org.uk or message us on social media to ask any questions you have about connecting sport and faith, and we'll try and get to them on another episode of Ask CIS. We'd love to hear from you. Till next time, bye.